This is your daily briefing. You're most welcome to it. Harry Kane and Son Heung-min could follow Antonio Conte and quit Tottenham in a make-or-break season, fears Tim Sherwood. Watch legs. Timmy told Sky, let's face it, Conte only has until the end of the season. I mean, he's not signed a new contract. And then he goes on about, if he's not committed, then why should Kane and Son be committed? Look, all I can say is Tim Sherwood, a pundit like no other, doesn't offer anything at all. But there is speculation. Just show you this here. Sky Sports have done a little sort of at-a-glance thing of where we are in the sort of things that I go through with you in terms of the categories of the very disciplines of play. And it doesn't look good. It doesn't look too bad if the season was over, say, next week or on Tuesday or something. But with so much of the season to go, it's not good at all. It's heading towards relegation form. As I say, with so much time ahead of us, that's it's not flattering. And it's bound to trigger loose talk, shall we say, and there's more of it here. Real Madrid reportedly keeping tabs on Sonny. South Korean considers his future in North London. Not got off to a good start under any circumstances. The source of this is German Sports Eins, so this kind of marries in with both Son and Harry being in the fatherland come next summer.
Kein Anschluss unter dieser Nummer.
This is utterly depressing. Sam Mockbell's been a busy boy this day. I don't know if it's his week for covering Spurs, but he says that Tottenham are preparing to offer both Eric Dyer and Pierre Højbjerg contract extensions. What in the name of jumping Jehoshaphat are they thinking about with Eric Dyer? Absolutely no good whatsoever. Social media vox pops, and I'm going to go through this. It's a little bit long, but it's not that long, and it's quite aggressive, so you might enjoy it anyway. But just to remind you, there's such a poor way of judging a situation. Thankfully, on this place and the Substack I've created, we're keeping out the riff-raff, just keeping the forward-thinking, intelligent people amongst each other. And the situation is that many can't see beyond blaming Conte, despite the squad being full of players that got the last three coaches sacked. Plus, there's even more Levy punts than there ever have been. So some Vox Humana swelling here. I think it's high time Spurs officials sack Conte. That man is a total disgrace. How can we lose 2 consecutive games? Conte out. Second user here. Conte is a disgrace. We have some of the best football players in the world. And he's asking to play like Burnley. Play to win, you scumbag. Donna Cullen obviously been at the Vino there. A further fuming fan added, disgrace and a joke, very poor. And what was that money spent on? Nothing we needed. Chasing a game and Conte brings on Doherty and Davis. Really? Spence and Gill, surely. I mean, the irony there is just palpable, isn't it? He brings on 2 arguably quite dull players when we did need to offer more, opposed to Spence and Gill, who this guy, fuming of Acton or whatever his name is, doesn't understand that they're not to the required standard. And if they were, who in their right mind would have left them on the bench? You can't laud Conte on one hand, and then on the next minute just ignore his CV and his style of play in previous clubs. Well, you can if you're stupid, I suppose. Another couple for you here. What a joke we currently are. Not good enough, Spurs official. Conte needs to wake the F up. Yeah, that's right. I mean, he doesn't care, does he? He's not animated. He's not screaming and shouting. You're quite right. He does need to wake the what's it up. This from Spurs Express balances things up beautifully, and well done to them, by the way. They clearly work very hard, and their numbers have just gone boom. From October the 23rd of this year, so that's like last week or wherever we are. For those in the minority who may be calling for a Conte departure, this is from 2019, their old tweet, when Poch was on the brink of being sacked. And this is what they said, October the 5th, 2019. It's quite simple. If another manager comes in, he still has the same squad of players who rather want to leave, regardless of who the manager is, or they just aren't good enough. Mourinho, Klopp, Pep, Allegri, Christian Gross, it makes no difference. And absolutely right. It makes no difference at all. I joked the other week, you put my mum in charge and things wouldn't be any different. But of course, against reason and against intelligent thought, we have to voice voice of children, and look no further than the Evening Standard. And this used to be a great newspaper. When I used to commute into London, used to pick it up for 20p on Liverpool Street, and it used to have go-to columnists on the back pages. And now look at it. Antonio Conte said to be backed in January, but Tottenham face transfer balancing act. What does that even mean? So says Dan Kilpatrick. There then follows several hundred words telling us that nothing that supports the claim in the headline. Oh, and that Jed Spence is probably going to be loaned out. So Matey from the other thing should perhaps read that. But my real beef here is, when has a January window ever made a big impact on a football club? I can't think of it. Some of you, oh yeah, do you remember we signed so-and-so? It's so atypical. Don't bother me with it. Don't embarrass yourself with it. Winter windows are generally poor. You've then got the added confusion this time round with the World Cup to factor in. I wouldn't even bother. To even suggest this is just ridiculous. And who would believe such a suggestion, even if some robot at the club was the one that told you it? Oh, that's right, a child. Dan Kilpatrick. That's it for now. Good luck. Keep it Tottenham.